Hey, well, hello everyone. Hey, it's Terry Bontemps. Wow, how are you guys doing? So excited about this Bank Foreclosure Millionaire documentary. COVID-19 for the next 5 years is America's next big financial opportunity for real estate investors. COVID-19 and the 6 Ds: death, debt, divorce, and distress is the new way for you to make money and build wealth in real estate. It's not new to me. It's not new to me. I've been doing this since 2001. I went through the 9/11 bombings, and they say history has a way of repeating itself. Okay, I got started in 9/11 during the 2001 bombings. That's when people were afraid to leave their house because of a fear of being shot or killed by a terrorist. Here we are, 2020, with COVID-19, and people are afraid to leave their house, and they have to wear a mask. Totally different scenarios, but a recession nonetheless. And in between 2001 and 2020, we had the 2008 Great Recession, where it was turmoil in the real estate industry. Foreclosure was running rampant. What I've come to know as a real estate investor going through 3 recessions is that this time in COVID 2020, the government is making it a priority to make sure people aren't dislodged from their houses, their homes. They have moratorium. I'm a landlord, and I just got news today that there's some new, longer restrictions for the tenants. My tenants haven't paid me in 6 months, haven't talked to me in 6 months, and I haven't talked to them. And they're extending this through September through January. Don't know all the details. Not really concerned with it right now. I will check with my lawyer and we'll deal with it, and I have to abide by the law. So as a landlord, it may be a year before I could, remove the tenants if they don't pay. Okay, I don't know if they will pay, but I'm looking at about a year with a rent amount of $900. That's $10,800 that I haven't received as a property owner for giving someone housing. Now, I don't know their situation, and I'm not going to comment on the situation. I'm not going to tell you I'm mad and bitter at them because I don't know what they're going through. They may be up under serious distress. I'm not the type of guy to go over there and demand, because I'm the landlord, that they pay me. I don't know their situation. But I do know at the end, when it's all said and done, I have a lawyer and we're going to take care of the situation. And if they work it out, then hey, it'll work out. But otherwise, this is unfortunately for me, this could be a situation where I'm the victim of COVID as a landlord, right? If I'm not getting my money, my 10,800, then I'm not able to make the payment to the bank. Now, fortunately for me, I own it free and clear, so that eliminates stress for me, financial stress. And I want to tell you guys, having no debt, having my loans, having no mortgage payments to the bank, no credit card debt, no automobile payments, no student loan debt, I owe nobody money, has been one of the secrets to surviving these recessions in real estate. And the people that I know that are having difficulties are the people that have a lot of debt. They're highly leveraged. So if this message right here could help you understand how to prepare for the next recession, it's to get out of debt, okay, including your homes that you own. Now, the reason this all got started again was because I was on Facebook or LinkedIn, and I seen a post by Damon John. It was a video post. Damon John of the Shark Tank. Okay, I guess original owner of FUBU, the clothing line. And I don't know what caught my attention, but I decided to stop and open the video. And so Damon John was clearly explaining, hey, with all the things that are going on right now, studios have stopped production. And he's thinking, you know what? He's been saving his archives of FUBU related information. I don't know what he was showing. He just showed some tote bins in a trailer that was stacked pretty high. I don't know if it was clothing in there. I don't know if it was marketing. I don't know if it was content. I don't know if it was videos, tapes. I don't know what it was, but it was impressive because that trailer was full of tote bins, which meant that Damon John had enough material to create his own documentary. So he says, hey, look, I've got the footage, I've got the material, I've got the content, but I'm looking for a network that wants to take a chance and write the documentary about FUBU. And I was like, that's interesting. I said, you know what? Why come we don't have a documentary about real estate? Well, to be more specific, hey, why don't we have a documentary about buying notes from banks, directly from banks? And I was thinking, I went, wait a minute, Terry, you already made that. You already got it developed. You filmed it. You produced it. You starred in it. You wrote it. The only thing I didn't do was film it. And what it was my thought process, my thinking about how note buying should be portrayed to the general public, more or less to real estate investors that I coach, teach, and train. I wanted to give them a better insight as to the remarkable world that they're going to be being a part of from my teachings. Now, since that time of making that, I decided, you know what, I want to rebrand it to today. Back in 2012, when I developed this, it was about the nouveau riche. The nouveau riche just means the new rich. And I kind of laid it to the side, and it sat for a long time until I watched Damon John's video. And I said, you know what, go grab that, go take a look at it. So I went back yesterday and looked at the footage. And I'm like, wow, it's still relevant for COVID-19. So I'm going to show that to you guys today, and I want you to be aware of some things. That was the 2008 recession, the Great Recession. People were losing their homes to foreclosure. Okay? The market was upside down. There was a lot of homelessness. And the government learned from that boom, for this recession, for COVID-19, hey, we're not going to let the housing get out of control. So this is why they have these moratoriums. This is why if you're a homeowner, the banks can't foreclose on you because they're clearly trying to stop what happened in 2008 for 2020 with COVID-19. Now, the opportunity for us as real estate investors is still there. There's opportunities galore, but you got to understand how this business works. And the business works because people need help with their real estate right now. They need help with their real estate. Okay? They know someone that is dealing with COVID and they have real estate. Okay? And the loved one is probably going to be dealing with death, debt, distress, or they're dealing with divorce. Okay? Now that we all got to stay home, pretty much, people are in the house together all day long, 7 days a week. That's causing a lot of stress on people. Okay? It's causing a lot of divorces. There's debt. People have been furloughed from their jobs. Unemployment is running out. Jobs are never coming back again. So those people that had those jobs are now dealing with debt. And the house is a part of that debt. So this documentary, I'm now converting it to be called Bank Foreclosure Millionaire. I'm rebranding what I did in 2012, which I called the New Rich, the Nouveau Riche, to rebrand it to Bank Foreclosure Millionaire. So I'm rebranding this. And what I want you guys to know is this. I'm going to give you some power quotes that you will hear me say that is going to be in the documentary as I play it. When I play this documentary, I want you to remember these things that I've said. Now, to really get the true understanding and the true meaning and the true value and the true content out of this documentary and what I'm saying, you need to go back and listen to this numerous times. Because for the average person, they will watch this one time, listen to my voice one time, and it'll go right over their head. They'll miss the big opportunity that's available for real estate investors. So if you're one of my coaching students, you're going to be smack dab in the middle of this documentary that I'm going to show you. The second thing I've done is I've built a mobile app. I built a game, a house flipping game about Bank Foreclosure Millionaire. And it's 11 ways that I teach you how to make money with the house. So I'm talking about my brand right now and what I've become over these 40 years of a real estate investor. I have a brand, and that brand is Bank Foreclosure Millionaire. And that is what I'm so excited about. This image that you see me standing tall and with a bank in the background and the name Bank Foreclosure Millionaire and my name Bank Note Buying Expert. This is who I've become, who I always was. I never knew it was going to be this when I first started real estate. But my love has kept me working and pursuing and studying and mastering and just constantly looking at my business and my brand to see how I can be the king. I'm the king of this category. Very few investors do what I do. Very few. So you don't have any competition. When Terry Bontemps take you on as a student, you're not going to have any competition. You can go to the marketplace and dominate. I didn't say compete. I said dominate, but you've got to go into the market and take it. You've got to go into the market and let people know that you are in this business to help them keep their home. And if they want to sell their home, you can buy their home. And these type of people that have this real estate don't want to deal with real estate agents. They don't want to deal with real estate agents. So you have no competition from other investors. You have no competition from real estate agents. And you don't need any money. You don't need any credit. So, again, Bank Foreclosure Millionaire. My brand. The app has 11 ways I teach you how to make money. I teach you how to be a wholesaler. I teach you how to fix and flip like HGTV. I teach you how to be a landlord. I teach you how to buy these notes from banks. Okay? If you don't have money, I teach you how to borrow the money from hard money lenders, private lenders, and money partners. Okay? I teach you how to hotel properties. I teach you how to buy REOs and notes in bulk, large packages. I've dealt with, personally, trying to flip 174 loans. That's called bulk portfolio. I've also tried to buy a package of 11 loans, 11 second loans from a bank. So that is what is in my mobile app. This is my world that I've been living and working and teaching and prospering in for the last 40 years. Okay? There's also Airbnb and assistant living. The name of the app is called Bank Foreclosure Millionaire. Again, the level that I am really the master of is buying the notes from banks. So what did I do? I built a business platform. Okay? I built it into a mobile app. It's highly interactive. It's just like being out in the real world. It's the closest thing to reality as far as you guys learning how to invest in real estate. I teach you the concepts. I teach you the formulas. And then you go into the game and you actually buy and sell and rent houses and buy notes. And the game tells you when you do it right, and the game will correct you and tell you when you're wrong. You can play this game 24/7, 365. It does not get tired and it does not stop, kind of like me. All right, so now we got the documentary. And now the documentary, I need to rebrand it and promote and market it as a part of my branding. All right, so again, that's a little history of how I've got started. And when I went back through and watched the footage, I went, oh man, Terry, this is still relevant. Still relevant. So again, if you're one of my students, you should be excited right now to be in my space, because right now, during COVID-19, and for the next 5 years, you guys, you need to get on this opportunity. If you're ever going to build some wealth and make some money in real estate, the next 5 years, put your name on it. And you can't just talk about it and act like a real estate. You got to get out there and let people know. You got to let them know what you're doing. Okay? Because again, 5 years is the next big financial opportunity for you as real estate investors. Now, why do I say that? Again, because I've gone through 3 recessions: 2001, 9/11 bombings, 2008, and here we are in 2020 in COVID. I am an expert at recessions. I'm an expert at distressed markets when there's loss of jobs, loss of homes, loss of income. That's my world that I live in. Why? Because I am a product of that environment. I lost 2 houses to foreclosure. I know what it's like. I can relate to people that I'm talking to right now during COVID. Hey, look, Terry Bontemps lost 2 houses to foreclosure. He lost his first house that he bought, okay, and that his first daughter was born in. He lost that house to foreclosure. Okay, I lost it because I refinanced it, took the money out, couldn't pay the property taxes, the bank took it. And from that point, I said, you know what, Terry Bontemps, I don't ever want to lose another house. So I'm going to start paying cash, or I'm going to pay off the ones that I have so that the bank can never take my house again. I am the bank. I want to be the bank. I want to control my own destiny. I don't want the bank to control my destiny. I don't want to pay the bank all that interest that they charge when you buy a home. That's my money. That's my kids' money. That's my grandkids' money. I'm a smarter investor. I got a different mind. Go ahead, Terry Bontemps. Talk, man. Talk. I'm loving it. I lost my second house. My second house was a brand new house. The only brand new house that I've ever owned. New carpet. Nobody had lived in that house. I lived in the house for 18 years, and that's when COVID hit. I'm sorry, that's when the Great Recession had hit, 2008. I was upside down, just like in this documentary. I was upside down. I couldn't see any way out. I was making mortgage payments on a house, and my money was getting short. I had owned other property. And if I'm not mistaken, those properties that I owned, I believe I had 1 or 2 that I owned free and clear with no mortgage payment. So here I am making a mortgage payment to the bank on a house that was upside down. And I said, look, Terry Bontemps, you got a house over here you own free and clear with no mortgage. What better position do you need to put yourself in? So I made a business decision. I made a business decision to walk away from the home that I had owned for 18 years and the first house that I ever owned that was brand new. I was not emotionally tied to that house any longer. It was a business decision. Terry, you got to do what's best for you and your family financially. To heck with that 4 walls and that roof. Because you can get more of those. I know how to get houses. I decided to let it go. A lot of people made that decision. A lot of people, the decision was made by the bank because they couldn't pay. So again, what you're getting ready to watch is what transpired in 2008. Again, here we are in 2020. Okay, and guess what? At some point, real estate's going to be in a free fall. Right now, I'm telling you guys, there are people out there sitting in limbo. They're stuck. They don't know whether to move. They don't know whether to pay rent. They don't know whether to pay their mortgage. They're looking for you to give them a solution. That's the opportunity. Helping people with a solution to their real estate questions, because they don't have the answers. And I'm the type of person, I love working with people that are going into distress. I love helping them with solutions. I love giving them answers. I love working with them. I love to try and help them keep their home. I love to buy their home. And if they just want to give the home away to me, I'm going to take it and I'm going to build some wealth from it. That's Terry Bontemps, you guys. There ain't nothing morally wrong what I just said. And I am not taking advantage of anybody, because I'll tell you, I had a guy that was $60,000 behind on his mortgage. I paid that so he can keep his home. That's morally a good thing to do. That's doing a great public service. That's keeping families together. I'm kind of like the government with a better program, because I'm putting my own money behind what I do. The government is saying, guess what? We just going to make some rules that, hey, nobody can be foreclosed upon. Nobody can evict the tenants. Yeah, that's okay, but guess what? The money still has to be dealt with. And that's what the government's not doing. Now, me personally, and I may be biased, but I'd love to see the government make some payments for those tenants. Then I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy landlord, but I'm not getting any payments right now. So guess what? I think I'm getting the short end of the stick. Tenants getting some free rent, free housing, paid by Terry Bontemps, the bank of Terry Bontemps. But again, I ain't mad. I just know that when this dust all settles, when it all settles, guess what? Terry Bontemps is going to have his lawyer, and we're going to do what it takes. I don't even want the money from the tenant. I really don't. All right, so again, let's go ahead and get going. All right, powerful quotes. Okay. Again, we're talking about the bank Foreclosure Millionaire, the powerful documentary about the transfer of wealth during COVID-19. Woo! What a title. Come on, Terry. How did you come up with that? Because I love thinking. Think about this, y'all. Here's the title. Bank Foreclosure Millionaire, the powerful documentary about the transfer of wealth during COVID-19. We talking about a transfer of wealth here, you guys. And you can have some of it. You just got to put your name on it. Just get a small portion. For you that just don't really believe that you were supposed to have wealth and riches and money to provide for your family, okay, just get a small portion. Just get your little 1%, if that makes you happy. Some of you believe that, you know what, Terry? Yes, I am supposed to have wealth. If someone else can have it, why not me? So this is going to be a transfer of wealth. During COVID-19, wealth and real estate is going to transfer hands. And I just want my hands on some of it. These are powerful quotes, again, from Terry Bontemps. Number one, COVID-19 is America's next big financial opportunity for real estate investors for the next 5 years. I know this because I've experienced 3 recessions and I financially survived them all. I did say I lost a couple of houses. All right, that's just the cost of being in business for Terry Bontemps. But I survived. And my family is thriving right now during COVID because of these decisions that I made. Okay? The decision I made to learn and master real estate has helped me survive financially. I don't have no stress right now. I don't. During COVID, 6 months into COVID, I have no stress. The only thing I need to worry about is staying safe. I don't have to go nowhere. I can stay at my house. I only leave for essentials. but I'm staying right here. And my kids are the only one that basically come over to my house. That's the rules for me in COVID. Number two, COVID-19 and the 6Ds. The 6Ds. If you've been with me for a while, you know what the 6Ds are. You need to make them 6Ds real close to you and understand the 6Ds, because that's your opportunity to build wealth right now in this market. Okay, the 6Ds is the new way to make money in real estate. The opportunity is with you working with people who are dealing with death, divorce, debt, and distress. Finding solutions that help people with their real estate. Solutions that help people sell their homes. If they want to sell it, you buy it. If they want to keep their home, you help them. And these people, if they want to just give it away, take it so that you can make a profit and some money and build some wealth. Now, again, these people, they don't want to work with realtors. They do not want to work with realtors. So that means you got no competition with realtors. That's your money. That's your profits wherever you live. You ain't even got to do it in your own neighborhood. I've done it in 6 states across the United States: California, Nevada, Arizona, Illinois, Florida, and New York. I've made money in those states because of what I know and what I do. Number 3, I'm the king. I'm the king of these real estate categories. I'm the king of these real estate categories. Buying notes from banks, foreclosures, and helping homeowners behind in their mortgage payments keep their homes instead of losing them to foreclosure. I am king of those 3 categories. Number 3, the transfer of wealth knowledge is so important because buying notes from banks is the most powerful wealth building real estate investment strategy that's ever been developed. The wealth that's controlled primarily by banks, not real estate investors. The wealth is controlled by banks, not real estate investors. Number 4, 95% of real estate investors know nothing about my niche of real estate. 95% of real estate investors know nothing about my niche of real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're one of my coaching students right now, 95% of the people know nothing of what I'm teaching you. There's no reason, no excuse for you not to dominate, not compete, dominate your market. Number 5, the smartest and wealthiest investors in the world use my real estate niche of buying notes from banks to own and control millions of dollars in real estate. I got to say that one again. Number 5, the smartest and wealthiest investors in the world use my real estate niche of buying notes from banks to own and control millions of dollars, millions and billions of dollars of real estate. Here's proof. Thomas Barak, he bought the note directly from the bank on Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch for $23 million to help Michael Jackson keep his home. I got to say that one again. Thomas Barak, who Forbes called the smartest investor in the world. Forbes magazine called Thomas Barak the smartest investor in the world. And why do you think he bought the note on Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch? Smart people doing smart things, you guys. Same things I'm teaching you. Again, Thomas Barak bought the note directly from the bank on Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch for $23 million. Why would the smartest man in the world spend $23 million and it wasn't his own money? He borrowed it from investors. Investors put up that money. Whoa, if that ain't smart. Why did he do that? He had other things to do in life. Why did he look at the opportunity to buy Michael Jackson's note from the bank for $23 million? And I'm going to tell you, it was not because Michael Jackson was the king of pop. It's because he knew he can make a lot of money on that transaction. Again, Forbes called Thomas Barak the smartest investor in the world. Thomas Barak is the 375th richest person in the world with an estimated net worth of $1.1 billion. He has a hedge fund that controls over $34 billion in assets. Marcus Lemonis has a show on TV called The Prophet. Marcus Lemonis bought a note directly from a bank for exactly what it was owed to control a $240,000 commercial building. Okay? This episode was called Green Tea. Marcus Lemonis, The Prophet, Green Tea. Go do your research. Go do your research. Go buy the episode. Go watch how this transaction, go watch it just to see how it unfolds. Marcus Lemonis, again, is the producer of a television show called The Prophet. His net worth is $900 million. His net worth is $900 million. This is how they build their wealth. And if you don't know how wealth is built, you can't see how wealth is built. You don't know how it's built. You don't know what to do to build wealth. How can you have any wealth? This ain't something you guess. That's why they call it old money. The Banker movie, my favorite documentary. We talking about documentaries right now. The Banker movie is incredible. In that movie, Bernard Garrett, who plays Anthony Mackie, and Samuel Jackson, who plays Joe Morris. Joe Morris was from the San Francisco Bay Area. They flipped 200 loans and made a $189,000 profit. $189,000 profit flipping loans, bank loans, not flipping houses, y'all. I'm talking about flipping bank loans. Number 5, my students have used the strategy of buying notes to make incredible profits. I told you guys about my student that made the $1.2 million in 1 hour from a $110,000 investment. That produced a 1,099% ROI. My student Holly made $400,000 in 9 months on a $9,000 investment buying notes from banks. That's a 4,444% ROI. I made $40,000 in 1 hour from a $10,000 investment, and that produced a 54% ROI. I did another note, $9,200 in 1 year. I paid $1,200 for it, didn't know what I was doing, sat on it for a year because I just didn't know. 768% ROI buying notes directly from banks. I was involved in 174 notes. This is bulk notes from banks. 174 notes that had a value of $40 million. A hedge fund that I was going to flip it to offered $22 million. Our fee, me and my student, was a 1% of what they would have bought that for, which would have been $220,000 for flipping 174 notes to a hedge fund. Again, that deal didn't go through, but I worked that deal all the way to the end. It was an amazing, amazing process just to hear and see how hedge funds and banks think. What an education. And another student, $20 million portfolio that she was given by a bank that I tried to flip to a hedge fund, that would have made her $200,000 from no money, no credit. She would have made $200,000. Again, this is why the Bank Foreclosure Millionaire documentary is so powerful. Why? Because buying notes is the most powerful wealth building real estate investment strategy that's ever been developed. You got to treat this information like it's the most important information that you have ever received in your life. Don't treat this just like another course that you bought. I know a lot of you bought a lot of courses. You put them on the shelves. You stuck them to the side and didn't treat them important. Do not take my course, my Bank Foreclosure Millionaire program, and put it with all that other stuff. You need to put mine at the top of your shelf and study it, learn it, practice it again, over and over and over again, because it will change your life. This wealth that I'm talking about is controlled primarily by banks, not real estate investors. What I'm talking about right now, the wealth, the transfer, is going to be controlled primarily by the banks. That's me and you, not real estate investors. We're real estate investors, but we think it's banks also.
The bursting of the housing bubble has left millions of homeowners across the United States owing more than their house is worth. This recession that we're currently experiencing has been the deepest and weakest recovery since World War II. In some areas like Sacramento, California, well over half of the mortgages are underwater, many so deeply underwater that people owe 40 to 50% more than the value of their home. In other words, a good percentage of Americans are in much of the same position as any bankrupt company. They can still make and pay their mortgage payments, but doing so is like taking that monthly payment and setting it on fire each and every month. These people have no hope of ever making a return on their investment in their homes. And it's not their fault either. These homeowners didn't intentionally set out to lose their job. They didn't sign the contract on their home to intentionally default and to go into foreclosure. Come on, are you serious? There was so much of a bigger game that was going on. These homeowners wanted the American dream, a home for their families, and now it's become an American nightmare. This game affected not only the homeowners who couldn't make their payments, but it also hurt those of you that can make your payments. Your home dropped in value because of this mess also, and you did everything right. So why are you paying the price? Many homeowners made bad decisions, but banks had a lot to do with this. They handed out way too much easy money without requiring proper documentation, qualifications, and without requiring a sensible down payment. What happened to regulation? This is not what you or I signed up for when we bought our homes. It was one big train wreck that hurt a lot of people and wrecked a lot of people's lives financially. At the end of the day, we've all been affected by this recession and mortgage meltdown. And if it's not you, then it's a family member, a coworker, or a friend. Lots of people, and many have lost or will lose their homes to foreclosure. When the housing bubble burst, the banking industry was terrified by the possibility that homeowners may walk away en masse, which would have stuck lenders with large losses and a huge number of marked down homes. It left banks with millions of loans that homeowners are not making payments on, and this causes major problems for banks and other financial institutions. In every city in the United States, banks have non-performing loans on their books, which could lead to their eventual shutdown by the FDIC. When the housing bubble burst, the economic crisis and housing downturn left millions of homeowners across the United States owing more than their home is worth. Some homeowners are so deeply underwater that they owe more than 40 to 50% than the value of their home. What I'm about to share with you right now, 95% of the real estate investors, or anyone else for that matter, know anything about. In every city in the United States, banks have millions of loans on their books that they're facing large losses on from homeowners that are not making their mortgage payments. This has caused major problems for banks and puts them at risk of being shut down by the FDIC. While the economic crisis and housing downturn might seem like a disaster for most, those in the know, like the new rich real estate investors, are taking advantage of the bank's misfortunes by making millions off the opportunity that's presenting itself in the current housing market. The new rich acquire 500 to 1,000 loans in bulk from banks at significantly deep discounts, then liquidates these assets with velocity to compound capital returns, which allows them to take advantage of and capitalize on the current financial opportunity in the real estate market. The new rich buys loans at one price and then liquidates them at a higher price. They do this efficiently and effectively by using state-of-the-art, customized technology, proprietary analytics, management systems, and an experienced real estate team. The new rich are able to attract large sums of capital to buy banks' loans from wealthy investors, lawyers, doctors, and high net worth individuals because of their technology, their expertise, and their ability to do complex analytics, which has made them very successful very quickly. The new rich are leaner, quicker, and faster, and that's why they stay ahead of their competition. It's a newer, faster, wealth-building real estate model that the new rich use to create a luxurious and fabulous lifestyle for these millionaires that are flush with cash to buy the bank's toxic loans. Jets, fabulous houses, boats, custom-made Italian suits, and expensive cars are what these high-flying real estate investors aim to achieve. Nothing but the best for the new rich. These real estate investors are this recession's newest generations of entrepreneurs, chasing the American dream of financial freedom with real estate, not by flipping houses, but by buying the bank's paper and helping homeowners facing foreclosure keep and stay in their homes instead of losing them to the banks. The new rich are strategic thinking real estate investors that make money buying, flipping, and rehabbing the bank's bad loan. The new rich don't own real estate, maintain it, manage it, pay real estate commissions, or have liability, nor do they want to. Their only concern is to control the paper on the real estate and make money from it. No tenants, toilets, and trash for the new rich. The world of real estate investing has changed dramatically from a few years ago. The old rules of real estate no longer exist and apply in today's distressed real estate housing market. It's out with the old and in with the new. Now it's time for you to learn the new rules of real estate investing from the nouveau riche, the new rich. I'd like to introduce to you T8 Capital. The founder and president of T8 Capital is Holly Gentry. She founded T8 out of her New York City apartment in 2003. She transitioned from acquiring, managing, and disposing 18 individual loans in 2003 for $375,000 to become the second largest buyer of bank distressed mortgages over the past 3 years. Over the last few years, she's invested $25 million into distressed mortgages. Last year alone, she invested $15 million in purchasing 18,000 loans. She's managed and acquired over 40,000 loans with an unpaid principal balance of $3 billion. Holly's father is old money. He sent Holly to a real estate education seminar that I was teaching in Las Vegas to see if my note buying training curriculum would be good fit for her, and if so, he would pay her tuition of $25,000 to learn how to invest in bank notes. It was a good investment on his part. I personally trained her one-on-one for 3 days at her fabulous estate in the Hamptons in New York. Holly's father fronted her $100,000 to start her company, to be paid back with interest, of course, another great investment on his part. Within 18 months, Holly increased her net worth $1.5 million. She made $400,000 on one note deal transaction on a property that had been vacant for 12 years that the bank hadn't foreclosed on. And they say the rest is history. Now me, I'm the trusted advisor to T8 Capital for their bulk note pools or one-off note purchases. I'm known around the industry as the bad boy of real estate, not because of my wild ways or anything like that. It's because of my long track record of buying bad loans before most investors even knew that this was an incredible way to make a whole lot of money and produce great returns of up to 30 to 45% on my investments. You see, I've been buying subprime loans from the largest institutions since 2001. I'm a real estate authority, investment expert, and master note buyer. I've taught thousands of real estate investors how to make lots of money with real estate without credit, money, or a real estate license. I have homeowners all across the United States that I've personally invested my own money in to help these homeowners that were facing foreclosure keep and stay in their homes. I buy bad loans to hold and keep for my own real estate portfolio. T8 allows me to buy directly from them with no markup when they purchase directly from the top 5 banks. This perk alone is worth the relationship, but the money that they pay me for my consulting allows me to afford the finer toys in life. Largest note deal that I've ever worked on was a $40 million deal from a bank in California. I buy bad loans with the sole purpose of modifying the homeowner's loan so that I can make a double-digit interest rate return on my investment. Ah, the money man, Josh Rogers, Wall Street type, ladies man, fine Italian suits, fast luxury cars, smartest dude I've ever met, knows his money. Josh raises investment capital from accredited investors for T8 to buy pools of bad loans from banks that are non-performing. He started his career as an investment banker for Goldman Sachs in New York City. He raised his first $30 million fund in his late 20s. He is currently managing director of Rogers Partners in New York City. He has been very successful in raising capital and producing impressive returns for our investors. Next is the T8 staff. T8 staff is responsible for servicing T8's loans, managing loans, risk management, including foreclosure resolution. Once the notes come into T8, we have 3 workout specialists that can easily handle 150 or more loans each. This gives you an example of the type of volume we have and what we can handle. We only handle the loans that are non-performing. Once they're performing, we let our professional servicing company handle the monthly collections from this point on. I'm Terry Bontemps. I'm a real estate investor that specializes in the world of foreclosures. There's no deal with the problem I can't solve. I've been helping homeowners facing foreclosure keep their homes since 2001. I've personally worked with homeowners all across the United States, from California to New York, saving families from foreclosure and making a profit in the process. There are plenty of homeowners that are upside down, in financial crisis, that don't want to short sell, who want to stay in their home and not lose it to foreclosure. I recently traveled to Las Vegas to look at 30 non-performing loans that a bank wanted to sell. The primary purpose of me buying these loans is to save these families' homes from the bank's foreclosure. In every city in America, there are families being challenged by the current economic and mortgage crisis. Since 2008, millions of families have lost their home to foreclosure. It's been estimated that an additional 12 million families will be unable to pay their mortgage or lose their home to foreclosure. This is where I come in. Welcome to Save from Bank Foreclosure. Today I'm in Sacramento, the capital of California. Sacramento was founded in 1849, and there are many reminders of the history of the city in Old Sacramento. Once a thriving riverfront pioneer town, Old Sacramento now primarily exists as a living historic district. The boardwalk-style sidewalks and horse-drawn stagecoaches give this small section of town a unique flavor. Old Sacramento contains several museums, restaurants, and the usual assortment of souvenir shops, all within walking distance of each other. Sacramento experienced explosive growth when gold was discovered in 1848, and the gold rush that followed was the largest human migration in history. The pace of life is somewhat slower than in other large California cities, and the people here are generally warm and friendly. The unemployment rate is in the double digits here, and Sacramento was really hit hard by the mortgage meltdown. Many people have lost their homes because they could not pay. Others who could pay chose not to stay chained to houses worth much less than what they were owed, or simply walked away and allowed the home to go into foreclosure. Few places in the Sacramento area grew faster during the housing boom than Elk Grove, Lincoln, and North Natomas. These three areas reflect the nation's housing bust, and few places in America have seen larger drops in home values during the bust. Largely due to foreclosures, housing prices in all three neighborhoods have plummeted more than 50%. I have a client in Elk Grove that I bought the note on from TA. I'm going to knock on the door to see if I can work out a solution since I'm in the area. I have a new client. Her name is Deborah from Canada. She's come to train with me for 3 days one-on-one on how to profit, buy, and sell notes. Hi, how are you?
Thank you.
Good seeing you. How was your trip?
Great, thank you.
Excellent. Well, let's get started. This is Bill, my driver. She wants to see T8 Capital LLC's business operations. She also has investors that are vetted and real. They have capital that they would like to use to purchase bulk notes from T8 LLC.
Hi, I'm from Canada, and I actually just got back from a trip with some investors from Israel, and I came to Terry to learn about notes, primarily seconds. I now want to find out actually how do notes really work. So that's why I'm here with Terry to actually find out the nitty-gritty of how seconds work. He's teaching me more about seconds, so I can more than just introduce two people and put them together. I really want to do more of a service to my buyers and actually help analyze before I send it to them.
So, which is really important. And then we're going to talk about the costs associated with the foreclosure. And then you have to think through all of this before you even buy the note. So we've broken this down now into 7, 8, 9 different categories. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to build some analytics that we put into the software. Again, you got to get all these questions answered. They're from the bank, which is especially important. All those questions then turn into be, what kind of return would you like to receive? Okay? So if you invested a certain amount of money, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with the end in mind. This is called reverse engineering. We're going to start with what you want to make, and then we'll back out this information, and then we'll offer the bank a certain number. So if the bank has a $40,000 note they're trying to sell, my thing is I got to know what I want to make first, and then I would back it out, then I make my offer to the bank. So that's the system that we're going to have to go over. We're going to talk about all the exit strategies, and that may be a loan mod, a deed in lieu of foreclosure, cash for keys. We might do a short sale. We have to foreclose. And they could sell or refinance, but in this market, since we're talking about debt, it's a no-go. That's right, exactly. But guess what? I do expect the market to get better. It won't go up like it used to, and it was, but it will go up. So if the property has equity now, guess what? You can now do all 7, sell and refinance. Okay, now we're ready to make offers. Beautiful. Beautiful. We're on our way to the county recorder's office here in Sacramento. A lot of the information that we need to do our research and collect data on about the portfolios of loans that we're looking to buy is online and available through the internet. All real estate documents are recorded at the county recorder's office or the land office in your town. Within these documents are the names of the banks and the owners of the notes, and as long as you're proficient at using technology and computers, you'll be able to do a lot of the research on your own at the recorder's office. Hello, sir, can I help you? Clerk, what I need you to do, I need you to get the notice of the trustee sale. I need the number of the first lender. I need to know reinstatement figures, good through the end of the month. I know you understand this, Kirk, but I have to get, I've got cash in this deal, so it's personal. Hey, well, Kirk, tell you what, send them my assignment. Let them know I'll be reinstating the second lien, okay? And if there's any other instructions, please let me know. Next is the foreclosure auction at the courthouse steps. The foreclosure auction is where we end up selling the note if we can't work out a viable solution or arrangement with the homeowner. When we buy portfolios of notes, we end up as a last solution foreclosing on the homeowner. If no one bids at the auction, you can end up owning the property. If you end up owning the property, I hope that's what your true intention was. If not, you're in trouble and you made a bad investment or paid too much for your note. Not knowing, you will end up owning the property, and that's a terrible exit strategy, especially if the property is upside down, has no equity, and will not cash flow. Well, sir. Yeah, go right ahead. Kirk?
Yeah, you're not going to like this, man. Your pockets are about to get flooded. And I mean, like, the guy is behind $42,000. Yeah, that's up to $42,000 that he wants, Terry.
Kurt, are you sure? That hurts, man. Let me think about it, and I'll give you a call back. So you're telling me he's $42,000 behind on the mortgage?
That is absolutely correct, Terry.
Hey, Kirk, cut the check. Have it wired, and get back with me after the first to stop the trustee sale, okay? No wasting time on this one. Thanks, Kirk. My favorite place, the bankruptcy court. 95% of real estate investors do not know anything about how bankruptcy affects the ownership of notes, and generally they find out too late after they bought notes, which is the wrong time. I've had clients file bankruptcy on me, and because of my knowledge of the business, I don't mind, because the bankruptcy courts become the collection agency for my monthly payments. When a homeowner files bankruptcy, they must report everything to the courts. It's all public information. As a creditor, the bankruptcy trustee will send monthly payments to me, or they'll ensure that the homeowner does. If not, the property is taken out of bankruptcy. We'll spend a good portion of our day sitting in 341 creditors meetings before heading over to a bank that we're looking to build a personal relationship with. This bank was referred to me by Josh Rogers from a private lender presentation that he did last week for T8 Capital LLC. Thanks, Kirk. By the way, hey, what happened to Earl? Where's he at right now? What does he want to do? What happened to him?
Terry, he's a military veteran that wants to stay and pay you all. Problem is, he's recently divorced, dealing with family law, $42,000 on his first, now $6,000 on his second. IRS is already marked his wages. He isn't selling his own bills, not reliable, and this stuff for him to get to work. Then he throws $5,000 at me about home repair. Now he has very little equity in this. The realtor can't sell his home, and he files Chapter 13. But Terry poured his heart out to me and said he really wants to keep his home, and it's the only home he's ever owned.
Wow. Whew. Oh, Kirk, that's really hard, man. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it, Kirk. Let's go ahead and write the check.
Terry, you're a good man. That's why I like working with you.
Ooh, this is a big one for me, Kurt. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Kurt, you're a good man also. And get back with me on this, okay?
Got it.
Deborah, the note business is a great business. This guy, Earl, he would have lost his home to foreclosure if I wouldn't have stopped the sale. What you're learning from me can help so many people. You've got the ability to stabilize families, neighborhoods, communities, and even our economy. I lost my house to foreclosure. See, I know what Earl's going through. Bad things happen to good people all the time. See, we make money in this business, but we also do good for our country. We're doing a great public service. Guess what? The angels were looking down on Earl today when I put that $42,000 into his first mortgage. Tonight, I'll be heading back to New York to have a meeting with Holly about our latest pool of 325 notes that we've recently closed and sold. But before I head back to the airport, I got to stop at my favorite Japanese restaurant for some sushi. I spent 9 hours straight today working with Debbie, covering everything from her education about the note business, including buying seconds, the county recorder's office, the foreclosure auction at the courthouse steps, the bankruptcy court, to building relationships directly with banks. Plus, we've discussed how I personally work with homeowners facing foreclosure and how I help them keep their homes instead of losing to the banks. This is the best solution, bar none, because we're doing a great public service. We stabilize families, neighborhoods, our communities, and the economy, and better yet, we make a nice profit in the process. What a great business. It's a win-win situation for everybody involved. The banks win, the homeowners win, and we win by making a great return on our investment capital.
Wow, I hope you guys enjoyed my documentary. Pretty proud of that now that I look back on it. That was my thinking back in 2012. Again, here we are in 2020. That was 8 years ago, and my message is still the same, but a much more polished presentation. Again, that was Foreclosure Millionaire. This powerful documentary was about the transfer of wealth that will happen during COVID-19. COVID-19 is America's next big financial opportunity for real estate investors for the next 5 years. COVID-19 and the 6 Ds is the new way to make money in real estate. Death, debt, divorce, and distress. Those are the people you should be working with so that you can make money in real estate and build wealth. Thanks again. We'll see you guys later.